Danielle,
Hi, Paul.
you're so far away, so
I
far
know.
away. That's awesome.
Hello.
There it is.
Are you
Hey,
there?
yeah, so I'm over here in pink area. I don't know why my video is so pink, but that's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
Can anybody else see that? His lighting is all
Ooh,
off.
I
It's
love
like
pink.
got a pinkish hue.
Hmm. But hey, not every Tuesday, as many Tuesdays as we can. I just want to spend a few minutes just sharing what we've learned with Tony Robbins and all the stuff underneath that we've done.
Yeah.
It's been such an incredible journey, and today,
Crazy. It's been 5 years since we've
5
done
years,
Tony Robbins stuff, which is just
totally.
nuts how fast life goes.
Which, by the way, was a total fluke because we were in
Yeah.
that phase where we were just saying yes to everything, and it led all the way down to it was crazy how we got there. Let's put it
Yeah.
the story for another day.
Mhm.
Today, let's talk about faith versus fear, Danielle. What do you got? What do you got? Go ahead.
You're putting me on the spot here.
I am. Faith
Yeah, no,
versus
it's
fear. Easy subject.
It's one of my favorite expressions or sayings that Tony has, which
Yep.
talks about, fear and faith. And fear, is basically your imagination of the future in a negative way, right? It's you're anticipating things that will be bad. Faith is your imagination of the future anticipating things will be good. And so what's crazy about that and what he talks about is that fear and faith are the exact same emotion. They are both imaginary. You are literally making up the future because none of us have that crystal ball.
Right.
But in fear, you're choosing to do it, in a way that hurts you. And in faith, you're choosing to do it in a way that serves you. And so if you get to choose, right, because we talk a lot about how you get to choose your emotions. Yeah. Why not choose faith over fear? They're literally exactly the same, which is kind of crazy. I think it's an easy one to get trapped in, and it's a really hard habit to break. Fear is a really deep down engraved feeling that we have that we've been trained in since we were really little. Yeah. It's a really hard one.
It is.
It is. Just that expression can be helpful. Yeah. Fear and faith, they're both exactly the same thing.
And the weird thing is, Danielle, when I look back at it, I believe that fits me. I don't want to say I'm very fear-based, right? But I naturally go to fear. But when I look back in my whole life, I don't think I can remember one time where the fear actually became a reality.
Yeah.
But yet I still believe it. And what I loved about what you just said is that, okay, so based on what I just said, my fear is totally just made up. It's just this. What does he talk about? Like the saber-tooth lion that's going to come out and kill you. So we have to make sure our brain is always protecting ourselves.
I mean, yeah.
Guess what? There's no saber-tooth tigers except for except for that kitten my cat.
Leo is a lion.
Leo. He is a lion.
Don't mess with Leo.
You better be fearful of him.
That's right. He's a scary guy.
Faith, right? But faith, why? What a powerful transition it is going from that fear-based mentality to faith. I mean, imagine just from a real estate perspective. I remember about 5-6 years ago, someone was putting an offer on a house and they literally walked away over a $5,000 disagreement because it was pride and fear, right? He or she did not take a step back and look at the whole picture and just have faith long-term that this is a great investment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just the times right now, I think it's a really important topic to remember. There's just so many things right now that people could be fearful of, right? And we've got political uncertainty. We've got economic uncertainty, right? There's inflation issues and, some real challenges, but people tend to then catastrophize those real challenges of it's going to last forever. It's never going to change. It's always going to be this way. And that's that fear mindset, just really playing on repeat in your head. And so instead, if you can switch that up to, let's have faith that it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
It will. I mean, so when I did my New Zealand trip not too long ago, right? And we knew, so we don't get to know all the details of the trip in advance, but I had a sinking suspicion we would be jumping off of something
You guys usually do jump off of something.
Extreme. Yeah. They like to challenge us. But one of the reasons that they challenge us, and something that I really took away from that, is we didn't do the jump until the last day for my group. And that week leading up to it, I was a mess. I was like, I had a lot of anxiety and anticipation of that jump.
Right.
Not even knowing what we were jumping, by the way. Like I just had a feeling that we were doing a big jump. And I had it was like always on my mind. I was constantly thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I don't like heights. It's dangerous, blah, 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 all this stuff. And, that day when we finally got up to it, and I was literally the last person to jump of a group of several hundred people. But I realized I just had to do it, right? Like I had to get out of my head and I had to stop thinking about it. And my mindset walking up to the plank to jump 440 feet off of freaking dangling thing in the sky, my mindset was just don't think about it and just have faith and do it. And what I realized is that the second after I had made the jump, which was really more like a push that the guy gently nudged me off of, but the second after that took place, all of the fear was gone.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually scared of the falling. I wasn't actually scared of the safety aspect. Like it was all in anticipation of the decision to jump. And it was like that split second, like then it was nothing but relief. And it was just over. It was cool. It was a really good lesson in that faith and fear. And I kind of knew going into it, like I just have to have faith. Like I know it's going to be fine. There's literally, I had plenty of examples, right? There had been 200 people that jumped ahead of me that did fine. And, but you have to find those ways to reassure yourself. Right.
Yeah.
Like what examples can you give your mind of situations where it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be?
Right.
Like it almost never is.
No, that's
We're
right.
all worked up about something. And, I think in the real estate industry right now, there's some tough situations happening. We've got the NAR lawsuit stuff is really about to go into effect next month. And there's a lot of uncertainty there.
There is.
And real estate agents, consumers, everybody are kind of not sure what to expect. And when people don't know what to expect, they tend to have fear around it. And, I would just say we have a choice. We get to decide to have faith, and it's all going to be good.
It is.
25 years in this mortgage business, and I can tell you that every other couple years, they do some kind of big shakeup of guidelines and rules and changes that feels extravagant and complicated at the time. And then you're into it. You're like, oh, that's just how we do things.
I mean, how many times, Danielle, through your career, have you heard like, this is it?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's never going to be the same again.
It's never going to be the same again. And
you remember when trade rolled out?
Oh my goodness. I mean, here's the thing. This is what I've learned through that, right? Is for some people, I just got to be real. It is going to be over because those are the people that are living in the fear. They're paralyzed by it. They don't know how to adapt. Yeah. But those that do know how to adapt, not usually, they prosper.
Totally.
In every market, someone has prospered. Yeah. Whether you're a home buyer, whether you're a seller, whether you're a realtor or a lender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just have to be creative enough to live in that faith. But I'll tell you this, when I'm in fear, I don't think that well, right?
Yeah.
It's like, there's like studies. I wish I knew that what it was. It's like when you're in fear, your world gets that small and you can't see the opportunity that's around you.
Yeah. Well, and then all you're focused on is the bad stuff, right? Like, that's just not, you're kind of ruining two experiences because you're ruining all the lead up, right? That's what I realized in New Zealand. I really kind of ruined my week, like feeling tense about something that was not live and in the moment right then. It's understandable to have fear when you're looking over the edge for a second.
For some people, I would have loved it.
But I made it a whole week worth of fear.
Right.
Instead of just it's all good. It's going to happen either way. It's going to happen.
So we were talking, I was talking to my friend Stacia yesterday, and we're exchanging some stuff. And I wrote this down here. I want to share with you. There's this quote. I think it was from Steph Curry's mindset coach. Do you know who Steph Curry is, Danielle?
I've heard of him.
Okay, good. You're kidding. Thank God. Right. And so Steph Curry talks about this. This is so powerful because it has everything to do with fear, failure, rejection, which is all that fear, right? Is that he is not allowed to hold on to anything. So once that shot goes up, whether it goes in or it goes out, he's not allowed to hold on to it. And he says the power is anything that you hold on to, especially fear, takes away the gift that's heading your way. So when I'm holding on to that fear, I'm missing gifts that come my way. I thought that was such an awesome saying.
That's cool.
That is cool, huh?
It is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yeah. My Tony Robbins coach had a great analogy. We were talking about a situation with a business venture kind of thing that we're working on, and how I was scared or fearful of how it was going to turn out. And she explained it as, you're walking through the woods in the dark with flashlight, and you're imagining that like a mile forward there's a cliff, but you don't know, you're alone in the dark, and all you have is a flashlight lighting up right in front of you. So why not just pretend or imagine that like it's a beautiful meadow up ahead, and why do we always jump to it's a cliff with animals that are going to freaking eat us or something crazy?
Totally.
I mean, like,
what a
why
difference.
not just go, it's a beautiful meadow ahead, and when I get there, I'll deal with whatever it is. Like because again, you have to have faith in your own abilities and yourself. And go, okay, like I know I'm capable of handling whatever comes my way. And
that's awesome. Why is it always crocodiles? Why is it never meadows? Because I got to tell you, when I'm walking through fear, whether with our kids being in the military, work, our daughters, you know what I mean? It's like the ending is always tragic. Why can't it be the meadows? That is such a beautiful thing. Imagine the difference in experiences walking through that forest with that flashlight. If you thought you were heading to a meadow.
Right.
Of just like the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, that whole candy thing, just be smiling.
And then, let's play that all the way through. Let's say, okay, we're walking through the forest. We've got our flashlight. We can see right in front of us, and these will be revealed as we walk further. Well, let's say we're walking to the meadow because we've imagined it that it's going to be positive. And let's say we do come across the crocodile. We'll be in a much better mindset and state to handle it.
Totally.
And then we'll imagine that the meadow, if we just haven't gotten there yet.
Like,
all right, we just got to get through this crocodile. No big deal.
Yeah, because if you're in the fear and you think you see a crocodile, which is probably a squirrel, you're probably going to scream and run and be out of there.
And run back. And then you missed it, right?
I mean, you missed it.
No, it's an easy one, I think, to lose sight of. And I definitely lose sight of it often still and have to kind of remind myself. But it's something that I'm working on a lot right now. There's a lot of just uncertainty in certain areas of life. And it's like, no, it's okay. Like, it's all good.
It is. You know, one thing I loved about what he says is okay, when you take away something in your brain, right? He says, I'm paraphrasing this. And he does it way better, is that, there can't be any empty space. So if you don't fill that space up, those thoughts are going to come back in. It's just how it works.
You have to replace it. You have to replace it. Yeah.
And one of the things that I really work on is gratitude.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I get in those fears about our kids, about work, I really try to sit here and just start saying, like, I'm grateful for this screen. I'm grateful for this keyboard. You know what I mean? If I have a bad conversation, hey, I'm grateful for that conversation, the opportunity. And I try to remember that I'm heading towards the meadow. Danielle, that was a great analogy. I love that.
Yeah, well, I wish I could take credit for it, but that's what Tony coaches are for. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But so I was talking to her actually last week too, and that's what I'm working on right now, is trying to replace fear with curiosity. So that's
it.
Same thing. You have to replace emotions, right? Like you can't have that empty space, so you have to replace it with something. So for me, it's curiosity, where it's like, okay, I don't know how this is all going to work out. But like, it's interesting. I wonder how it's going to work out. And to me, like, curiosity is a little bit more light, and it doesn't stress me out so much.
Right.
And you can still have some unknowns, because I think a lot of fear is really just the unknown piece of things. But if you're curious, it's interesting instead of scary.
That's cool. You know, my word, I didn't know you had your word. I have a word too. I can't believe I haven't shared with you my word.
You would think we talk sometimes.
Yeah, my word, I feel like I'm blushing, but I'm not. I think it's just a room, is ambition. I try to look at my state in the morning as I'm doing my morning routine and go, do I feel ambitious? And what that means to me is, am I excited to meet the day and what it has to come? You know what I mean? Am I open to possibilities? Am I okay getting rejected, knowing this is something your coach said? It's okay if the outcome isn't what you want it to be. Maybe during that process, you'll meet somebody or you'll have a different connection. And kind of tying a little Brene Brown there, you have to get into the arena to make stuff happen. If you're sitting in the stands, nothing's going to happen for you. And so that's my word, is ambition. Like, do I feel ambitious today? And truthfully, sometimes I don't. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm on my third cup of coffee and going, okay, but I think the power is, I'm realizing is, it doesn't matter what I feel. I still need to do ambitious acts. That was the key to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, same reason I keep going and jumping off of stuff.
Yeah. Can we switch? I want to jump off some stuff one of these days.
You just could do it. You don't have to.
No, I'm too fearful. I'm too fearful.
They made us jump off of 3 things that day. And even that messed with my mind, right? We get out there. I had prepared myself for 1. I'm like, okay, I got this. And then they were like, there's 3 jumps. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I only had my head set on 1. And now there's like, right? Like,
yeah.
I did all 3 and just I felt
went
really
for it.
freaking phenomenal at the end. I won't do it again, probably, unless they ask us to. But
I will say, Dee, you're amazing.
Walk into the fear. That's the other thing my Kathy, my Tony coach says. Feel the fear and do it anyhow.
Yeah. God, that's...
Feel the fear. I got it. Like, okay, I acknowledge it. It's there. Move on.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? So I have these fears, and I'm facing them right now. And through other programs and stuff I'm in, we do like inventories of why you're feeling the fear. And, you know, for me, it's like, this is totally different than jumping off cliffs, because it's like business.
I feel like that would be a challenge for you.
Yeah.
As it is for me. So
yeah. And it's like, why do I...
different ways.
Yeah. Why do I feel that fear? That is so powerful. And usually for me, this is getting like way off track here. It's because, you know what I mean? I am just fearful what people will think of me and stuff like that. And because of that underlying, I have an identity. Oh, we got to stop here, because now we're going to start talking about identity and stuff like that. Maybe we'll go that next week, but it is
primary questions or
primary questions. Holy schmoly.
Stuff. It's really cool though. It's been a 5-year journey of...
It has. And I certainly don't want to sit here and try to portray I don't have fears. I don't act in fear, because I certainly do.
No.
But I think the power of like what we're doing here is just sharing what we've learned.
Yeah. Because
part of having it become who you are is sharing about it, just like we're doing here.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It makes it really hard if you're talking about it and not. Yeah. It's a reminder for yourself. I don't know.
It is. All right.
Good stuff.
Well, hey, I hope to see you soon.
Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Love you, babe.
Back to work, sir.
Back to work. Oh, that's awesome.
Work, guys.